What's up, everybody? Just finished killing chest and legs. Woke up at 4 o'clock to come here and do that. Felt pretty good. Felt a little rushed, but pretty good for the most part. Sun's in my eyes, so I apologize for the squinting. Quick, important update here. Yesterday I had 100 grams of carbohydrates. Like 47 of those were net carbs, but 100 grams of carbs. Throughout this challenge, I've been slowly increasing my carbohydrate intake to kind of see how my body's affected by it. And my protein's been increasing almost just since my contest prep as well. My blood ketones respectively have been decreasing. So with an increase in protein and carbs, my blood ketones have been decreasing, which is not surprising. And as long as you're between 1 and 3, like I feel just the same. But after yesterday's 100 grams of carb intake, I got a little curious. So I tested my blood ketones late last night, and I was at 0.3. So technically out of ketosis. And that was like playing with my mind a little bit. I'm like, here I am, the keto savage, and I'm not even in ketosis. I'm letting all my followers down, letting my audience down, letting all y'all down. And it started messing with my head. And it's like, nope, this whole thing is an experiment so that I can learn and then share with you what I've learned. I almost was tempted to like not tell y'all that I was at 0.3, but it's like, why would I not tell you? This is important, valid information. This is just data. So I've been able to see what my carbohydrate threshold is, which I know now is probably around 75 grams of total carbs a day. And I woke up this morning at an all new high body weight, 166.6. That was out of 3 different measurements. I actually woke up 167 the first time, so we'll just call it 167. So that's 7 pounds up from what I started at 160 for this challenge. So here I am, 7 pounds up. Granted, a lot of that is going to be because I ate a big meal last night, and all that fiber, and then a lot of water. I could tell, looking in the mirror, like my cheeks were filled out, my joints were a little bit more swollen, so a lot of that was water weight. But again, 7 pounds up and out of ketosis. I'm not happy with that. So I'm kind of switching gears, changing my strategy a little bit. Today, I'm doing pretty much just really high fat intake, no bulky carb fibrous meals throughout the day, really high fat, moderate protein. Gonna get back into deep steady ketosis. I might have one fibrous green leafy vegetable meal a day, probably at the end of the day, which might make my next morning's weigh-in a little bit higher, but it's gonna give me that fiber, and I'm not gonna feel bloated throughout the day. Like yesterday, I was just binging on salads, binging on Miracle Rice. I just was hungry, and I think that was because I just come off of being at such a deficit for the competition. But it's been almost 2 weeks since then. I've got that out of my system. I'm ready to get back in performance mode and not like fat kid mode. So switch the strategies. Gonna have one big bulky meal right before I go to bed, which will fuel the next morning's workout since I'm doing morning workouts now. And then throughout the day I can feel lean, mean, and athletic. Gonna get back into a deeper state of ketosis. Gonna drop some of that extra water weight and just bulk weight, and that is the new strategy update. So I'll catch y'all for the next meal. Alright, so we got a super high calorie, super high fat meal right here. For protein post-workout, I got some smoked baby clams in olive oil. So I'm gonna eat these bad boys quick and easy. I liked those canned fish and seafood and clams and sardines. It's all good to me. And then I've got 1 ounce of macadamia nuts. I got half a cup of coconut cream, which this makes really good ice cream. It's 1/3 cup is 17 grams of fat, 2 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of protein. So really good coconut-based fat source. And then I've also got 1 serving of that keto ice cream that I showed y'all in an earlier video in here. So this meal breaks down to 23 grams of protein, 14 grams of carbs, most of which is coming from the guar gum in this coconut milk or coconut cream, and then 84 grams of fat, 911 calories. So far today with the keto coffee and this, I'm at 87.8% fat for the ratios. So Probably gonna have a salad tonight. We're going out with some friends. Probably gonna have a big salad, Cobb salad tonight. Probably have them hold the avocado and the tomatoes and just get my fiber from the lettuce. But definitely gonna go high in fat ratio today. So about to eat this, and I'll catch you for the next meal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12 o'clock noon, 12:10 noon on Friday. It has been just over 12 hours, about 13 hours since I took that blood ketone test and measured 0.3 millimolars after having 100 grams of carbohydrates yesterday. I tell all my clients not to get so obsessed with the number on the scale or the blood ketone readings because, one, they fluctuate so much. I mean, just on this challenge, I was at 155 on the scale one day and like 167 this morning. So you can't, I mean, you can see how much fluctuation takes place in so little time with keto, and see, especially when you're like experimenting with things. So it's important not to get so, let me turn this heater off real quick, hold on. Kill some of that background noise. It's important not to get so fixated on the number on the scale or the blood ketones that you like beat yourself up or just lose the overarching goal, which is to have fun and be the best you can be and be healthy. So I'm kind of being a contradiction right now because I don't like being at 0.3 millimolar, and here I am wasting a $5 strip to test myself only just over 12 hours later. So do as I say, not as I do. Now, actually, that's not true. I am testing because I am manipulating my diet right now, and I'm just kind of curious to see how a 12-hour window affects things. I'm not really messed up about the 0.3. So it's asking for blood now, and I am bleeding. So we'll see what this says. Do the 10-second countdown. And again, I'm not messed up at the 0.3. That's just a result of experimenting, being a human guinea pig. That's how I learn. That's how I help y'all learn more. 2.7. Alright. So, yeah, I did not expect it to be 2.7. That's actually much higher than I would have expected. Kind of crazy. Which is one perk to being as adapted as I am. And I'll talk about that for a minute now, I guess. So I've been in ketosis. I've been following the ketogenic lifestyle for over 2 years now. I started after my after my competition in 2015. Yeah, 2015. And then I've been doing it since now. So I've been adapted for 2 years now. Sometimes I've dipped below that 0.5 threshold and was technically not in ketosis, and then there's times where I'm, probably 4 millimolar. I've tested like 3.9 before. So when you are as adapted as I am, the longer you're in ketosis, the more efficient your body becomes at burning ketones as the primary fuel source. So the longer you're keto adapted, the easier it becomes for your body to switch back to ketosis if you're kicked out of ketosis, which is why in 13 hours I'm able to go from 0.3 millimolar to 2.7 millimolar through nutrition alone. I haven't taken any exogenous ketones. I have had MCT powder, and I have had some caprylic acid, the Keto 8, in my coffees. But yeah, that's a pretty substantial jump in blood ketones in 13 hours. So, and I feel really good too. I feel better now at 2.7 than I did at 0.3. I was kind of tired yesterday. Haven't had that much more sleep, but I feel pretty good right now. So yeah, that is all I gotta say about that. Now, I made a keto brick earlier. I'm gonna go eat it right now. So I'll see you in just 1 second. Alright, I know y'all probably getting tired of seeing me in this vest, but I really like this vest. I haven't normally been a vest guy, but I really like this vest, so I'm now a vest guy. Alright, so I got my keto brick. It's a beautiful sunshiny day in Spokane, so I'm going to go for a walk, listen to a podcast you already know. I got my coffee, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. I changed the recipe again on this keto brick. This one, I've got basically 2 main variations, one with fiber, one without fiber. This one is without fiber since I'm not doing the fiber today. This one's got 12 grams of protein, 7 grams of carbs, and 63 grams of fat for a total of 647 calories. Most of that carbohydrate comes from, what does it come from? There's just like trace in the MCT powder. The macadamia nuts has some. So yeah. So I'm not going to divulge too much on what's got what in these things because I'm keeping it secret. But let's give it a shot and see how she tastes. Sorry for all the road noise here. Alright. Let's see how we are. I kind of changed the recipe with every one that I make just to kind of experiment, but this one's pretty good. So you can tell the macadamia nuts in there. So yeah, I'm gonna eat this, get my coffee, go for a walk. Holler at you later. Alright, we just got done doing some Stairmaster and some abs and some sauna, which is why I'm drenched in sweat. I had a keto shake before headed to the gym. Let me tell you what the macros are on that real quick. We're going to eat tonight. Probably get a big salad, so have my fiber then. But so far for the day, I am at 3,187 calories, 316 grams of fat, 40 grams of carbs, of which 24 are net carbs, and 52 grams of protein. My current ratios are 6.5% protein, 5% carbs, and 88% fat. So, did what I wanted to do so far today. I've pretty much fat loaded all day long. Had very low carbohydrate and protein intake to kind of wean myself off and boost my ketone levels, which I did. 2.7 when I checked it around noon, so that's good. I will take y'all to the restaurant and show you the salad when I get it. So talk to you then. Alright, it is the conclusion of the day. We went out to eat. Didn't bring the camera into the restaurant, so I took some pictures. I'll post those on here. I had what did I have? I had Brussels sprouts that were cooked in with bacon and a balsamic reduction, and it was oh so very good. And then I also had a Cobb salad. I took the ham off of it, the tomato off of it, and the avocado off of it, and added anchovies. So that gave me some additional sodium, lowered the fiber, lowered the carbs, and it was really good as well. That gorgonzola on that salad just hits the spot. I had a few macros left for the day, so I got some 0-calorie miracle noodles, fettuccine style, and then I added a half a cup of that Alfredo sauce from last night on there. It really hits the spot, really tasty. So for the macros today, I've got 4,163 calories, 392 grams of fat, 65 grams of carbs, of which 38 are net carbs, and 91 grams of protein. So the ratios break down to 8.8% protein, 6.2% carbs, and 84.9, so 85% fat. So pretty high on the fat content there, which is what I wanted to do today. Have a higher fat load, lower protein, lower carbs, and have my my big bulky meal at the end of the day instead of throughout the day. So feel pretty good. I'm gonna eat this, gonna enjoy it, and gonna go to bed feeling good and wake up feeling better. So
let me show you what this looks like real quick. But for the most part, that concludes the day. Hit our 4,000 calorie mark, and it was a success. So see you tomorrow.